So we start off tonight's Fable. You're gonna need a little bit of luck. And as we go about deciding whose luck we decide first, we'll go ahead and we'll start with Brandon. Go ahead. We have our luck tokens here. We're gonna roll randomly to determine which luck token you will start with.
3.
All right, so the little campfire. So which character will you be playing with tonight?
I will be playing with Elarius, the elven archer.
And with the campfire, you get to add a narrative element that you want to play with, a recap or some thread of the story that you recall having been at our table before. That's your opportunity tonight.
Perfect.
Do you want to think about that, or do you have something to provide now?
I'll think about that.
Okay, great. So Errol, go ahead. We're gonna roll luck tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. You get a little bit of luck for who are you playing with tonight.
So it's Herman Roth, the noble-born human thief, coming back, the leader of the circle, with some hope for the future.
Hope for the future. We'll hear about Herman's hope for the future. All right, Mark. Roll tonight.
That'll be 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is your position, your character's position in the old world. Who are you playing with tonight?
I'll be playing with Gallivan Curian, the soldier background priest, trying to bring good vibes and service to wherever he goes.
Okay, excellent. And tonight, Sam will be joining us. You'll have this little toy soldier. Your character will draw from their childhood. These luck tokens can allow you to re-roll any die at any time. Your own, the GM's own, another player's, any die, damage to hit, you name it. So if you choose to draw upon your little toy soldier for your character, you will draw from a moment of your character's childhood.
Okay.
So something to think about. And what's your character tonight?
So my character is Togark. He is a goblin wizard, and he grew up in a barbarian village.
Excellent. So our Fable tonight takes place, you guys decided as a whole, pulling in this goblin, Togark, with your adventuring party towards the Sunken castle. And I believe you guys are interested in pursuing more of this element and trying to face head-on what you originally engaged with Elarius and Jagged Edge at one point. So tonight, I guess Herman is taking that information and running with it.
That's right. So Herman's heard a lot about their previous adventures, but maybe, you know, a little bit more of the sneaky stealth aspects are going on today, so he's a little better equipped to deal with that.
So you can imagine the Balsal deserts, you know, with giant just cliffs and bluffs and spires and hoodoo stacks and just sands that go on for horizons and horizons. And navigating these harsh desert lands, you feel the oppressive heat of these suns. The sun beats down, and during the evenings you can see that the 4 moons in the cardinal directions are at the lowest points. They are completely at the horizons every night. And you know that the 4 moons were almost in alignment, pretty much in alignment, when you came to this continent during the day of the pink sun. So the time has shifted in such a way that you have almost felt like you've been on this place for quite some time, that you've seen the moons recess back into the horizons at night. You guys are really not at a loss. Maybe you two are, Gallivan and Togark, because you haven't been to this part of the deserts before. Herman, you've gotten information, but this is kind of a new site for you as well. Elarius is the one to mainly be the point person for all this sort of stuff. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the adventures through the desert, we had proceeded southward from Arventa. And in addition to finding an excavation site that seems to be under the control of the Preservation Syndicate.
Correct.
Yes. There were some cave paintings. There was also some additional information that Elarius had received from Garuna, a sort of wizened crone character back in Arventa, suggesting that there was a castle sunken out in the desert to the south. So there was some scouting around, some light infiltration that Jagged Edge and Elarius had tried to do. That effort was interrupted when we noticed a group of subjugated gnolls and kobolds that were being led into this sunken castle, which seemed populated by undead. Sentient or not entirely sure what drives them, but in any event, Jagged Edge and Elarius had rescued these captives and then were taken back to their encampment within the canyon, where a gladiatorial contest to earn their trust occurred. And ultimately, Jagged Edge and Elarius were inducted into the hunting pack. There was a promise at that time to assist these folk in retaking their ancestral homeland, which was this sunken castle. So that kind of brings us up to speed in terms of what is happening at this sunken castle, and why Elarius, at least, is interested in it.
So Gallivan, as you approach this encampment filled with gnolls and kobolds and were creatures and shifters, half werewolf, they're all sort of canine in a certain way. What does Gallivan think about these this encampment here, these folks that are under the control of this sunken castle?
So they're under the control. I mean, what's their demeanor like? How do they appear to Gallivan? What's their community like?
Yeah, so it seems from what have garnered initially, they're held up in caves, these dugouts, these small tunnels like burrows and pits and holes carved into the stone walls that surround this castle. This castle sits like in the middle and surrounded by these various bluffs and caves, and these canine creatures are totally at the beck and call of this castle. Sometimes these people get pulled in and drawn away, but they're mainly just starving, and they're mainly just waiting for any type of food or provisions or connection to whatever life source is around here, which is not much and not close by at all, being in this black sanded desert. So this castle is this one connection that they have.
Gallivan's heart breaks for these folks. These are the kind of people that he imagined being sent out to help from the 214th field. These are the kind of folks that he would love to show a little bit of love to, and it absolutely burdens him to see them in such a state of despair.
Okay. Yeah, and they are working in a way of just they try their best to hunt. They whatever creatures are around. Last time there was a feast of sorts that rumors have spread in terms of killing a non-keg, which was a very dangerous and vicious creature to these creatures. But sure enough, Elarius managed to one-shot kill this bug creature that burst up from the ground, and they seem in good spirits from that feast, but some time has already passed, and you can see that the burden, the cloud of oppression just seems to return. What do you guys want to do specifically? You're approaching this castle, it's pretty much there in the horizon, but there's this enclave surrounding the castle in terms of this encampment. I'm curious how you guys want to approach this.
So is the enclave surrounding the castle made up of the gnolls or undead?
The gnolls, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're like, in those holes, in those dugouts and burrows and stuff, and every now and then they may go up to the castle, or they may just get pulled in or dragged in, but it's like a quiet sort of place where they just keep hidden away until called upon, but they have nowhere to go.
The first gnoll creature that Gallivan will come to, he's gonna reach into his backpack and he's gonna grab a ration for the first one.
Okay.
And offer it to him.
Yeah, so the gnoll, obviously people pass through. They're not totally surprised at seeing other people. Last time you guys saw sort of a caravan of sorts head into this castle. So seeing you offer such a generous thing, this giant, emaciated gnoll, which has this hyena head and it just, these giant paws, it just reaches out and takes this ration and just starts eating it. But it doesn't even look at you as like a friend or a foe. It just takes it like it's just living on the very edge of survival.
Eat with Geet's blessing.
And you can see the ears gone. like twitch a little bit, but it just takes this thing and continues on its way, dragging like a sack of just rocks and stuff, and just.
Why would you give away your rations to these beasts?
Do you not see how they're suffering? I mean, it's not much, but it's something. They need help.
I think you should use Geed's blessing sparingly, because we don't know, or strategically, we don't know what we're going to find today when we go into this castle. But I have a few more rations if we need them. Elarius, you were here last time. I've heard a lot from Jagged Edge, but hopefully he was of service when you tried to go into the castle.
He was, and what we were able to observe from our vantage point, the castle is largely populated by undead. There are sentries along the rooftops.
Okay.
There is a large floating platform brick.
There's a central brick embedded in the
Embedded
roof
in the
of
roof,
the
yes.
castle, and it's severely damaged.
Yeah. So there might be a couple of access points. There is, I believe, a triangular portal of some
There's a
sort.
side, entryway that is a magical door, and it is obviously emanating magic, and you haven't seen it open or close, but it's just radiating magic.
And then there seems to be a main entrance and a rear entrance. There are sort of support buttresses, I suppose, along the perimeter that could be used for cover if we were able to make our way down to them. Last time Jagged Edge and I were here, we were spotted, or our presence, we were made. However, the folks on the roof were not able to determine exactly where we were because we were right up against the structure. So I think the major challenge that we're going to have here is getting to the base of the structure unseen. And if we can do that, then we'll have a little bit of flexibility in how we proceed from there, whether or not we decide to scale or try one of the entrances I mentioned.
Is that what you guys are interested in doing? Heading straight to this castle, or do you want us to engage the Enclave at all?
Well, I think it might be helpful to get some information. There might be a way in underground. After all, the castle is sunken, so perhaps there are some entrances we're not aware of. But in any case, my primary goal today is to get in and sabotage this defense, so that next time we come back, we can do a real number on them.
Okay.
Elarius, do you have any contacts that might be able to get us a little bit of battle info?
Well, outside of the hunting pack, there's certainly Gallivan, who we saved during the fracas at the entrance. And then the leader of the pack is Thazoon. So we could certainly solicit information from them, given their proximity to the castle, and the fact that some of them may have seen the inside, depending on what they were subject to during their time here. So we can certainly pursue information from the pack and see if there's anything we can glean in terms of our approach. That said, I would urge caution in dealing with them because they are angry, they are oppressed, and I would not want to spur them to action prematurely.
Very good.
I would keep our intentions hidden.
What if we could make ourselves look like the gnolls?
And that
get
might be a
inside.
tall order for all of us. How about you? A wizard?
I could alter myself to look like a gnoll for a little while, or we could kill some and make disguises out of their corpses.
I would rather not.
Maybe if we found some dead ones.
I'm on the good side of my deity. I'd prefer to stay there.
I think that would draw attention to ourselves. Do you think we have a chance with this Thazoon, or is he going to be unreasonable?
I could speak to Thazoon on behalf of our group here and see if we can find another access point.
Okay, then in the meantime, I'll wait for you outside, and I'm going to try and identify the scout patterns of the patrols and the skeletons here, and see if we can find a timing to get through.
That is an excellent plan. I would also ask if you see any caravans, try to take note of any sort of recurrence or frequency. We did see one enter the last time, and it might provide us a way in.
Mm-hmm.
There are caravans trading with
The undead.
the undead.
Fascinating, yes. I've seen nothing like it before.
What's the undead want for? More bones?
Who knows? Are they also part of the Preservation Syndicate, these undead?
No, last that you've heard, they were zealous vision voyagers that have just spread further out. So they have ties to this, to this citadel, but they've just taken over this castle aeons ago, and have just been controlling it.
Well, that's of close personal interest to Herman, because as we know, the crest of the Duke that sent him here has been found on these zealous vision voyagers. So Herman's very interested in getting in here. So
As you guys have been deliberating, that knoll that you gave a ration to, you can see like off in the distance, and it's like pointing to you guys. Like, seems like there's other knolls that are seeking rations as well, and they're like scuffling with that one that had this ration, and he's pointing you guys out, you particularly.
Excellent work.
We may want to move briskly.
Yeah.
let's get out of sight. Take us to this Thazoon.
Okay. Elarius will motion for the party to follow him. If we have to pass this group of gnolls that is tussling over the ration, well, I'll ask you, sir, are we passing that way?
You don't have to, but you could. If it's the direct line to where you want to go, if you want to see Thazoon deeper within the Enclave.
Well, we don't have to pass them. Maybe we should go around.
Well, yeah, we'll take the long way around.
Okay, sure. As you start taking the long way around, you hear that's just like, and they're like, the scuffling's getting worse, and they're like, as you guys have left the scene, they're going after that one that has the ration.
Keep me with them.
Sounds like a distraction. I'll stay in cover here. You go on ahead. I'll watch to see if this brings the guards out.
This is very far away from the castle. Like, if you want to go to the castle, you can go to the castle. This is like surrounded by rocks and surrounded.
So the guards don't care about this area.
No. You know that these guards come down and like take gnolls and bring them back up, or at least Elarius does with Jagged Edge. Yeah, and like you guys, like there's like encampments surrounding this castle within the rocks and the cliffs and stuff.
But we're far away from.
Oh yeah. It's like this would be a small little town surrounding the castle, and then you can hide behind rocks or like navigate freely without really being seen. But if you guys wanted to go to this castle, then you start moving away from this enclave and you start like focusing on the castle. So you're at this point now where you can continue to engage the gnolls as you guys seem to be deliberating, or forgo that and head to the castle as desired, and just give you the opportunity to go one way or another.
Well, I think what we were thinking was to go to talk to Thazoon, or maybe
Yes.
just Elarius, and then Herman's gonna try and do a little bit of recon in the rocks and stuff to see what the patrols look like around the castle.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good thing for Elarius to do on his own, just to talk to Thazoon.
Yeah.
I, again, don't know how the hunting pack will react to the uninitiated.
Okay. Yeah. So as you sort of approach the inner workings of the main chamber of Thazoon's lair, it's like a den of sorts. Just rough patches of pelts and just sewn together trees and leaves that just make a mat, and you can just have that heavy scent of just musk, and it's a very thick sort of smell, as the cave, which is very dry, has a sort of like moisture to it because it's just so well lived in for so long.
Delightful.
And there's some smaller guards at the beginning of the castle that are just like, and they see you and they like, and they recognize Elarius immediately.
Yeah. Holding maneuver, give them the salute, And as I approach Thazun, fellow brother of Paravas.
And this old, scarred, one-eyed, shaggy-haired, silver-maned, he stands and he looks like bones are aching. And I haven't seen you in many days, my brother. Welcome back. What brings you back to our enclave?
I come seeking information for our conquest. I wish to seek your counsel, wise, and with the memories that you possess, surrounding ways of entry into the castle. We have seen what lies above the ground. I was wondering if you knew of a way below.
My memory goes deep, and the claws of the castle is what burns in my mind. There are many levels to the castle, but I know the top level is one that holds that power brick. That one that was once at full power is now destroyed. The captors of the castle do not know how to fix it, but I have a memory that I hold deeply. There is a vault on the top level, filled with creation elements. They have yet to access this vault. Otherwise, they would repair that. We haven't the strength nor the wherewithal to enter it unless we are dragged in. But perhaps you mighty warriors and your strength can enter and secure the elements. Should you repair that brick, you might be able to raise the castle a level at a time.
Fascinating. The Sunken Castle would become an ascending castle. With that said, do you know how one might gain entry into this vault? Your memories possess this.
As you're asking them, outside, you guys are posted, and you can see off in the distance this looming, flying, red-winged creature approaching.
I've seen that before. Be careful. It's one of the rock birds.
Rock birds?
R-O-C.
Why do they call them that?
I don't know. It's just the name. It's one of the rocks.
Ready my crossbow.
Don't shoot at it, Gallivan.
I wasn't going to shoot at it,
Oh.
but one must be prepared. You of all people would know that, yes?
Herman's scared of these things. He has a distant memory of the early days of Arventa.
Inside the cave. This one is a bit of a claw's length from me. The Razgodai that live in the canyons deal with the cave, with the castle, and they send the most fearsome creatures to ride in every so often. I know of a nest, a secret nest, in which one of those creatures lives. Perhaps you can waylay it and ride it into the castle. And
Interesting proposition.
as you see closer and closer, this red-winged creature flies, and it's scaled. It's this lizard creature, nothing like a red rock that you've seen before. And it's a red, leathery wings. It has a long tail that's barbed at the end, and it's you can't tell if it's actually armored or if it's just silvered, hided faceplate, chest plate, and it's flying in, and it lands at the top of the castle at the magic door, and shrieking wildly.
I was wrong. That's worse than I thought.
It's worse, but that might be our ticket in.
How are we going to get to that creature?
You're the one with the military experience, at least a little bit more than mine. You have the whole troop behind you, don't you?
I suppose. Well, I can climb today with these climbing boots that I got from Jagged Edge. But what about you two? I don't know if it'll be as easy for you to get in.
Well, if we're climbing, I could alter myself to have stickier appendages, make it easier to grip onto surfaces. But I don't think we should get any closer to that creature.
And you can see the portal disappears, and it goes into the castle.
Oh, the triangular portal.
Oh, so it's not out. The creature disappeared into the portal?
The port, like the triangular magical door, like winked away, and the creature entered into the castle.
Wild.
It like flew on a perch and went into this
So it like disables the door somehow.
something, and back in Thazun.
Thazun, could you point me in the direction of where this nest resides?
There's a creature that legend says died a most noble death, at least according to our tribe. Within the bones of this creature, this red-winged, armored wyvern lies southeast of our castle. Perhaps a solid day. But the desert is one that we do not dare mess with, for it is one that is unforgiving, and we are on our last leg.
Well, we will see if we can change that. Thank you for the information, Brother of Paramas.
Southeast?
I believe so, yeah.
And with that, Elarius will give Thazun a salute, maneuver in hand, and then head off to meet up with the rest of the group.
Flexes his claws, puts it on his fist, and sort of a return.
Nice.
So does Elarius come back out?
I'm going to relay this information to the rest of the party here at the encampment.
So you said a day's walk. Oh, if I were to say how many hexes that might be approximately.
I think we said a day's walk is 2 hexes.
Oh, that's right. So probably just about over here we could find that wyvern's nest. Okay.
That sounds great to me.
Could be more, could be less.
Nest.
Well,
So
what do we think, team? Shall we attempt to subdue one of these creatures and ride it in?
Well, we might not have to subdue it. Do wyverns speak?
Togark brings up a good point.
Oh, you're asking me? Oh,
What knowledge?
I thought you guys were you're not familiar with it.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a completely foreign creature to us this time.
Okay.
well, we could try certain languages that certain people might know, not Ermin, but well, that sounds good. Gallivan also had the right hunch. It's our ticket in. We saw one walk right in while you were talking to Zun.
Interesting.
It went right through the portal.
Okay. Well then.
Have we seen anything come out of this portal?
Not
No,
that.
I don't believe so.
Not today. I don't think we saw anything last time.
No.
It's not ominous at all. All right, let's go.
Yeah, it's just, just like a GIF. Okay.
All right, let's
do it.
Sally forth, yes.
All
Okay.
right.
Move forward.
So I guess we're sneaking out southeast into the desert.
As you guys are about to leave, you can see that there's those gnolls, the knoll that you gave the ration to, and he's clawed and he's bleeding, and he walks up to you. You know, he like approaches you very aggressively.
Uh-oh.
You had rations. It cost me I am like the Zun. I hope this eye heals. It was scrapped. I was fought. But you gave me rations. For that I am thankful. You came from across the way, and I see you travel with Elarius. If it was not for him, I would make your body a ration.
Understood. I apologize for what has befallen you. Go and be well. Be as well as you can.
You give me something, I will give you something. And he points up to the castle. I had a friend there. He managed to survive a night of hard labor. And he told me, next to that power brick in the top corner, there's a crumbling ceiling up there. You gave me something that I risked my life for, and I will give you something in return. I hear through the allies of Elarius that you are interested in the castle. Calazan mentioned you saved his life on the way in. Well, that castle has many ways in, but we do not get out alive.
If you had to identify the least risky way in, do you have any?
I do not measure my life in risk or hit release a round of risk. I measure my life in night or day.
Well, would you mind giving us the most daylight-ridden way into this castle?
We pray not to enter the castle at all. We fear our lives are better out here.
Well,
Yeah, life seems pretty good out here.
It is far worse in the castle.
well, thank you for that information. We will.
Our brothers go in and they never come back.
And it is our goal that we will go in and your brothers will never have to enter again.
He wipes off some of his matted fur. Do what you will, and leaves. And you can see that there's other gnolls in there that are licking their chops, like the ones that scrapped with them.
I'm gonna stare them down, kind of snarl.
And you can see they kind of cause them a little scuffle, like they've heard of Elarius and kind of put them in their place.
That's right.
You two did well last time.
It was certainly interesting. The company that we find ourselves in.
Excellent. Shall we?
Let us.
Okay. Here we go, I guess.
Off into the desert.
Okay, so it's gonna be very hot, so you're gonna have to expend 2 rations if you guys want to start going through here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who's leading the way?
So what does it take to navigate?
It's gonna be an intelligence check.
I'll lead the way.
Well, are you very intelligent
Yes.
and confident?
Multiple people can. You can see up here. There's
Oh, that's right. I have 12.
I have 14.
Okay.
narratively who would do this.
So what else is there? We can forage. That's also intelligent.
I can keep watch. I've got a pretty decent whiz with the ring. So
Actually, I'm gonna forage, or else I might not have enough rations to get back.
Okay.
Especially if you guys end up lost.
No, that won't happen.
Well, somebody's got to navigate. Do you have the highest intelligence?
Yeah.
Not so much.
Not so much.
I was
Do
gonna
you have
say,
anything that you could do of these?
I mean, other than
Do you have dex?
no. I mean, I don't. Narratively, clear does not seem appropriate for a desert, so.
I do have Dex. I mean, like I could.
Think about what your characters do. Never mind the stats.
Yeah.
I think Elarius would probably provide counsel to whomever is going to take point on the navigation because he did get the general information from Fazoon.
Okay,
has
so you're
a background
scouting.
as a scout. Yeah.
Okay, fine. And would you prefer wisdom? No, you.
No, I
okay.
All right. I'll navigate, I guess, if nobody's navigating. Unless you want me to forage, and then you can navigate with the extra bonus. I'll forage.
I will navigate. I have walked these sands before.
All right.
Excellent.
and I'll keep watch.
Armin's digging around, looking for some rations. Okay, so
Oh, nice.
15.
Okay. Yep. You get. It's gonna be a 12.
all right,
DC 12
so
pass.
19 on the foraging.
Okay. So you forage.
All right.
22 on keeping watch.
I would hope that passes.
Great.
7 on scouting. I'm very distracted.
Okay.
Super focused. And
Have we?
not paying attention.
How many is that? Is that per one hex?
It's per both hexes.
Oh, okay.
So it's very hot, you guys. And as you guys are out in the desert, you can see that there's some sand coming on the horizon.
Oh, good. A storm.
You had traveled full day, and throughout the night, and you haven't come across anything of noteworthy.
Okay, so we are here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's not it.
Do you think the gnolls move faster than us? Would a day's walk for them be a farther distance than us?
I don't know. That's a good question. How fast do gnolls move?
They could theoretically be moving faster. That's quite an astute observation, yeah.
We have the our companion.
Yeah,
The
you could be close if, according to his thoughts on how fast a gnoll moves. If you want, you can try to push ahead to try to get another.
Oh, I
axe.
see. So their day's travel is further than ours. I see.
Possibly.
So I already
Good point.
did. I can't do the marching song
Would
because I already.
Right. Mm-hmm.
the direction that we see this sand cloud coming from,
Mm-hmm.
is that the direction we're heading in? Is that like directly in front of us, or is that coming from a different?
It's coming from the east, and you're kind of going southeast, so partially.
So we can do Hall is for the next day, for the next hex or something like that, or how do we push?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you want to. Yeah. Unless you want to push right now.
How does that work?
You're-
Okay. It's a con check.
Yep.
Okay, and if we fail, we just stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's. So
try it.
everybody has
Here
to
we go,
pass,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So everybody roll for con.
Oh, half the group.
Oh, okay.
Does it matter which half?
Oh.
Half the group needs to pass in order to get to the
Oh,
end.
okay. I got 20.
Yeah. 20.
Yeah, mine doesn't matter, but 9.
11.
11? Okay,
7.
jeez, okay, we're split 50-50. Evens, you make it, odds you don't.
All right, half the group passed.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry. Good. Yeah, I was like, it gotta go either way. All right, so yeah, okay. So as you are approaching this, you're scouting out this basalt desert, and there's just rocks and refuge, and you can see that sandstorm on the horizon, and you're like, this point that the goblin has made, Togark. It takes me a whole session. If you can survive, you get the full pronunciation. Togark points out the gnolls. They move faster than us, and you push and you push and you push, and you actually crest a ridge, and you can see a giant bone structure sunken within the hills. It's a giant skeleton. It looks like it could have been a winged creature at one point, and it has a long vertebrae, and it's just like enshrouded in the sand, and encapsulated by drifting sands and fallen rocks.
So that is now this third one here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, what was it doing?
It's a bone, a skeleton. Yeah, it's a giant skeleton in the sand, like partially buried. Maybe there's a wing, but there's bones that like come out from it as well too.
There's nothing but bones and sand in this place.
I mean, do we see anything that appears to be a nest or any gathering?
Not from this
materials?
distance.
Okay.
It's huge. Like a rib bone is like 5 men tall.
Oh my!
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like it goes on for
It's like a whale.
10 whales. Like it's like so large that like you'd have to go down and like you would investigate like the vertebrae, and then you go down and investigate the rib cage.
Okay.
And like search through this whole thing if you wanted to.
We should take shelter.
Yeah.
Where would you like to take shelter?
Is there a skull?
There is a skull.
I like that idea.
Sure.
A little bit morbid, but sure.
Just don't think about it.
All right.
Okay, so you guys push hard and you get to the skull region just as the sands overtake the surrounding area, and you can already tell, having been in some sandstorms before, that this not going to last that long. Maybe the day. By this time tomorrow, the storm should pass. But you guys are locked down in this skull, like as you crest in, and the sands are just raging.
But we can comfortably stand up inside this skull.
Oh yeah. It's huge.
We don't have to like dig down in. There's no skullduggery here.
There's no skullduggery here. Yeah, it's skull uppery.
Skullduggery.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the sands have now overtaken, and just as the sun is setting, night overtakes you, and it's complete darkness.
Oh, shucks.
It's complete darkness.
Complete darkness.
Well then,
If only we could do something about that. Well, it feels pretty light in here for the complete darkness.
Oh, and the darkness overtakes you. It's juggling a lot of plates here.
All right, so
I think Elarius will light the torch, and
great.
I don't know how the wind currents are going, but it might be very cool if he can set it in a way that it illuminates us and the smoke goes out the nostrils or something.
Yeah.
So torches will run on 1 hour of real time.
Okay.
That's just a little mechanic. And the torch, and as you like enter this skull, and this torch lights up, you can just the smoke coming out of the nostrils of this skull, and it casts the light into this area. And you can see, there's like stones within this, like this sand piles have piled up, and you can immediately you get the feeling of something's in here, something lives in here, and it's hidden and made a nest, and just you can see like branches and stuff, and a caravan wheel wagon, like half of a wagon. It looks like it's been poaching all of this stuff and like storing it in here. And there's a lot of it, and to navigate around, you feel like would take a serious amount of time and effort.
Is there something that I could climb?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Climbable?
Oh yeah.
So like a vantage point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well I'm gonna climb up to a vantage point.
Okay.
So is there a check for that? Or are you just gonna let me climb?
You can just climb it. Yep.
Oh, great. I don't even need the boots. All right, so I'm climbing up. So if the skull's like on its side, there's not much inside a skull. I don't know. I guess there's like, maybe, I guess where the eyes and nose bits.
Yeah, you could say there's like bones. It's like a human skull is hollow. Like this happens to be very intricate as well too. There's like loops and curves and like.
Right in the sinuses.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm kind of like.
Well, we're in the skull, but you're climbing like a rock or like a broken caravan or like stuff that has been nested within this cave.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get like a vantage point where I can see maybe
Who's
around
got the
some
torch?
corners and stuff.
The torch was, Elarius has it, but it was set
Oh, you want to set
for
it? Yeah.
optimum
Okay.
lighting for the group.
Yeah, it won't fill the whole cave, the whole skull.
Wow.
So we're gonna have to move around.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, well, Elarius will hold on to it for now, but should we encounter anything, I would ask that I hand it off to someone, because it's hard to shoot a bow with torch in hand.
Okay.
The staff is one-handed, right? Or is it two? Staff.
I don't know. I'd need to look in the book.
Just two-handed. Staff?
Two-handed?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they are. Okay.
I mean, if you don't want to use the staff, that's fine. You have your spells and stuff that you can do too.
Yeah.
I'll take the torch.
Oh, so is the staff a melee weapon? Oh, I thought it was for like casting, like a Gandalf,
Not officially, but it is a weapon that he could use two-handedly to whack things.
Yeah.
Elarius, let me make your bow glow, then you'll be able to see while you're fighting. Should it come to that.
Do it.
No, that's not good.
So here's a moment. You have your luck token if you want to use it. There's also this device that I will introduce you to called the Heores. This is a powerful artifact that the group has been dealing with, which allows the ability, like a hero luck token, to re-roll any die. But it lights a gem, turns a wheel, and it's been used numerous times.
You've never sounded so much like a shyster in your entire life.
And
Slap the
maybe
roof
you.
of that baby too.
I'm not going to read into this at all.
And maybe you.
I'm going to
I'm
use the
just-
Horus.
If you'd like to,
It
you
seems
could.
perfectly normal and fine. Sure. So I just roll again?
So you're gonna use this if you want to be all stylistically cool. And
this
is a roller.
Oh.
We
This
usually
is-
use the luck tokens first.
You guys can tell him. So it's up to you. Are you using it? You're rolling it? Okay, so you're gonna see
I
what
did
Errol
warn
is?
him about this
Okay, yeah. So obviously you have D20, you're looking at that. And so at one point, Togark spends a moment with this Heores, and as he holds it, he has a vision of a moment in this bestial skull in which darkness has encroached over him, and his spell fizzles, but he's
15? So it's
15. So do you choose to accept that?
Yes.
So you choose to accept that, and another, and the gem lights up, and you have that moment where you sat at one point holding the Heores. This is that moment, and you chose this path in which your spell is successfully cast. So you can continue to cast light over and over again.
All right.
And another gem in the Oris has lit up.
As has maneuver.
Exactly. All right. So, what are you guys all doing while Herman's kind of clambering up to different areas?
I'm gonna search the area, see if whatever has made its home somewhere in the skull has also left food of some sort. Gallivan is sorely lacking since he misfortuned that poor knoll.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna scout around, sure. Yeah, you're just looking for that. What do you go? What else are you guys doing?
I'm gonna look through any of the wreckage that looks like it's from a caravan and see if there's any goods or supplies that were
Okay.
brought in with it.
You're searching.
Elarius will keep his eyes to the skies.
Peeping out the eye holes.
So we keep his eyes to the eyes.
Eyes to the eyes to the
So
skies.
the torch is stuck down, and now you have the glowing bow.
You have the torch.
No, I have
also
the torch.
Galvin
Oh,
has the torch.
Gallivan's holding the okay. So you guys are rummaging around kind of together.
Yeah.
Correct.
Elarius is scouting around, and I'm like kind of surveying the thing. Okay.
This is me.
You find in the caravan that you find something very particular in the skies. You see like a thing just flying in the sky.
Any sound?
No sound.
Any smell?
No smell from your distance. Yeah. It was just,
All right.
yeah, you find the remains of several gnolls that are just chewed and eviscerated.
Oh, I am starting to get some bad feelings about this place. I'm gonna call Herman over.
I'm
And
like up.
oh no,
Yeah.
Togark. Do you want to come with me? Do you want to see something
He's
interesting?
rummaging in a
Oh,
caravan, but yeah, you call to him.
yeah. Do you want to see something interesting here?
Is it something bad?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Sure, I'll take a look at something bad.
So
Oh, wait, go ahead.
I present him the bodies of these poor chewed up gnolls.
Looks like they got what they deserved.
As that's happening.
Slowly starts backing away.
Well, he is a barbarian.
There is a.
So Herman is looking now. Is there a place where he can take cover up on something?
As you manage to signal these sorts of things, there's almost like a response to you. It's like in the air, there's like a shimmering almost, and it seems like there's like figures that like appear momentarily, like they manifest and then just kind of fade away. Go for it.
So yeah, I'm gonna hide under. So like I'm kind of amongst the upper levels of whatever scrap. So I'm gonna kind of like hide under to be not detected.
Yeah.
So if anything comes in or comes around, I'll be hidden from it.
I'm gonna get underneath the bodies of those gnolls and try to secret myself underneath.
You're scurrying underneath them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so there's just blood and gore and viscera. One of them is super like jerkied, and the other one's like fresh.
Oh,
Sure.
Well, I did say I was looking for food.
it's not cannibalism.
Not technically, no. I'm still just gonna get underneath them and try to make myself scarce.
So you see your allies starting.
I'm gonna move closer to Elarius.
Okay, yeah. His bow is glowing brightly.
So meanwhile, Herman's thinking back to, his knowledge broker days in the old world, and trying to think about what facts he remembers about wyverns. And what facts might he remember about wyverns besides the fact that they're like dragons, basically?
Can I help him remember facts since I speak Draconic?
Sure. We'll do this like post, like
As we were
retcon.
walking over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, what would you like some facts to be? I give you the ability to generate facts.
Knowledge of weaknesses, behaviors, any like fears. Herman's noticing a lot of potential kindling for a very big fire. Herman likes fires, as we remember from episode 1. So, you know, maybe if that were like a deterrent, or perhaps comforting and calming down of the creature. So he would like to know its opinions on fire.
Okay, yeah. Specifically, these red-winged, armored wyverns you know very little about, but you have heard that wyverns, yeah, can tend to stray away from fire, especially in times of war. That has been a deterrent of sorts. But these red-winged armored ones, not really sure about, but like dragons, they have that like hoarding mentality, that nesting mentality. But they actually are pack creatures as well, so it's very strange for one to be separate and secretive and alone here.
It's clearly one. Like, it's clearly not multiple that live here.
Yeah, it seems to be one.
Okay. Great. So with that knowledge and talking amongst themselves, they've determined these facts back in the desert earlier.
Elarius, what's on your mind?
From underneath the bodies.
There's a meat pile talking to me. I don't
Well, I do have Whispers of Faith.
Are you gonna do that?
I could do that, yeah.
Okay.
Whoa, okay. We're doing a lot of big rolls here.
Yeah, that passes. So you seem nervous up there. What are you thinking?
So as well too, this has a caveat as well, right?
Let's see. Should they accept and believe my message? I don't really have a message though. It's a question more like anything. But if you accept and believe it, apparently you get a +1 bonus to any check.
So there's sort of the subtext of it's imbued with this element of faith. So this is a message carried over by Geed in this instance. And you can hear the message, but it seems to resonate as well too, like almost in your core as well. Like there's this, I shouldn't be able to hear this, but for some reason I can hear this and I can choose to accept it or not. Or reject it.
You can gain +1 nervousness.
But you obviously hear Gallivan's voice, and you hear a question of concern, and you know, it so comes out of nowhere, especially seeing him disappear and do his thing. But it sounds like he's right there, and with his voice of comfort as well too.
Elarius will accept the message because in his hundreds of years upon this earth, he has encountered a lot of interesting phenomena, magical or divine, all sorts of things. And can they see me? Like, what's...
I mean, yes, the bow's lit, so you're obviously seeable.
I mean, I'm not like
Behind something.
Yeah, like there's.
Do you want to be concealed?
Line. I do not actually.
Okay, then if you want to make yourself made apparent, made known, then yes, then you're there.
All right, I'm just gonna say it. I don't believe we're alone here, and I'm not talking about wyverns.
I'm not gonna say anything or move. I'm gonna maybe draw an arrow.
So you'll get the +1 to, what is that?
+1 to any check. So that's specifically for Elarius, not me.
As you feel a little bit bolstered as you feel this message carried to you.
As a goblin, I have keen senses.
Okay.
Which in the game means I can't be surprised. But can I use these keen senses to detect?
To be aware of
To
things?
be aware?
Yeah, you are definitely aware that something is in here. As Elarius has pointed out, yeah, it seems silent and senseless, but you with your keen senses detect something.
Are there any context clues as to what it might be?
It's in the air.
Okay.
Something's flying around. You presume it's the wyvern.
Okay.
Oh, in the air, outside,
No.
inside.
Yep.
Oh, in the dark
figure
areas.
was inside the skull.
Yeah.
Well, you do have the ability, as we know, to alter parts of your body to perhaps see what's going on in the darkness with some special eyes.
Good point. I'm going to use Alter Self to give myself the eyes of a creature that can see in the dark.
Like a what?
Is that a thing in this game?
Yeah, it's almost against ShadowDark principles to see in the dark, which is like quite fascinating. Is that what it says? That you can
Well, the example is you can magically change your physical form, gaining one feature that modifies your existing anatomy. For example, you can grow functional gills on your
Right.
neck or bear claws on your
I
fingers.
want to have to see in the dark. Well, let's see if you can cast the spell.
Okay.
I think like
So it's-
like an owl's eyes or something.
That's good. Yeah.
DC 12.
Also
I have a
terrifying.
+2, so it's a 50-50.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so as you sort of like, you gain your owl vision for a second there, you can just sort of see like the light expanding its field of view. You can't quite see in the dark, and you're not going to see like wall to wall, but yeah, just by doing this, you can see there's that figure.
There's definitely something in here.
Yeah, like he saw it before, and now you can see an outline of it as well.
I can see it. It's flying around. I can't tell what it is, but there's something in here.
Herman's gonna continue not saying anything, but maybe like make a little gesture down to Elarius. You know, like shooting, kind of like, do I shoot?
It hasn't attacked us yet, though.
So
As you are like, you're gesturing down, like you kind of see that too, like a little bow, like fucking appears and then fades away.
like in front of my face or kind of
Yeah, like
in
where
the
you
air?
were. Yeah, where you were. Yeah.
Oh, like in front of me.
Yeah.
Where my gestures were. Kind of like gesturing, like I saw something right here.
I'm gonna call out loudly in Draconic.
Mm-hmm.
We mean you no harm.
And then, mean you no harm, but you can hear this like echoing throughout. Who speaks Draconic here?
Just me.
Okay, just yeah. Yeah. So as like immediately you hear just like a boom, like booming in the air, like everyone's just deafened by this, just like they all say that. And it's just and then
In
you get, like,
common, or can only I
in
understand?
Draconic.
Okay.
So we just heard like snarling.
yeah.
Are you familiar with the castle?
No reply.
Can we rest here, or would you like us to leave?
Sleep soundly.
All right, so I relay this conversation to the group.
Elarius will take a gold coin out of his pouch, hold it out on his hand, and then sort of gingerly put it on a rock or surface out in front, and then take a step back.
My companion has brought you an offering.
It's like a small little chuckle.
Is this like chuckle flying around like?
It's echoing. It's like it's yeah. That'll do. Sleep soundly.
He just keeps telling us to sleep soundly.
You seek rest, do you not?
We do. I'm sure you know there's a storm outside. There's nowhere else to stay.
I agree.
If we stay here, are we safe?
You are safe.
He's saying we're safe if we stay here. Is there any way to use intuition to tell if he's lying or not?
It's up to you.
Okay. Do I roll or?
It's up to you.
You can roll and let the dice decide.
For you.
What the,
Even do you think he's lying, odds you think he's not?
We have a few options here. We could rest here and hope the wyvern doesn't eat us while we sleep. We could leave and brave the storm. Or we could light some more torches and try to draw it into battle.
Considering we may very well need the help of our wyvern friend, I would suggest pulling a skeletal diplomat here and trying to make friends with it.
That is a good point.
Can you ask it how it feels about a bonfire? A large bonfire in the middle of its... I guess at this point, so Herman's like heard all of this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you guys doing now?
I'm like, ugh.
You guys,
Like clearly we don't really want to fight. So Herman's not, like, he's gonna blow his cover and just like shimmy back down and just like rejoin you guys kind of over by the junk piles.
I'm gonna get up.
as you do
under-
that, you hear like booming.
I'm also going to get up from under the bodies and make them.
As you come out of the bodies.
You can stay over there, you stink.
So, can you ask this creature how it feels about fire, and if it would object to us building a fire?
If we make camp here, can we make a fire?
You have one.
A bigger one.
A bigger one.
A small fire for small folk seems fitting.
He says we can make a small fire.
Okay. I think we should make a campfire and cook. What do you think, Elarius?
I think that's a fine plan. This figure, this shimmering, this figure, can you give us a sense of scale or size that we're talking about?
Not in this darkness.
I couldn't tell from when I glimpsed it.
Big. Not as big as this huge skull, but
Comparable to...
5 men long. Yeah.
Like we could all ride on top of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you ask if it can understand common? If it has been listening to all of this going on?
Do you speak common?
I speak many languages.
What was that? Was that in common or was it?
Draconic.
Okay.
Alright, well, whatever. While you guys are dicking around, Herman's gonna get his little bits of crates and cartwheels and whatever, kind of build a little campfire here in the middle, and light the fire.
You hear just like a hiss, as you start burning the fire. You have one fire, and that is enough.
He says we can only have one fire.
Well,
He's referencing the torch.
if I may, and Elarius will go and get one of the more fresh knoll haunches
Okay.
and start roasting it on the fire.
The torch.
Oh.
So the campfire.
Yeah, like as you're making this fire and it starts
the
burning,
campfire's
it's like
not burning.
screeching as you're burning.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's like clearly distressing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Well-
fine, I'll put the thing out.
Elarius will do this on the torch, though, making the comment, if we had a larger fire, we could cook a lot more of this meat for our friend.
So relay that, I guess? Or no?
Would you like to have some cooked knoll with us?
Go on.
Well, if we made a larger fire, we could cook this whole knoll. And you could eat with us.
Larger fire. Larger fire.
You drive a bargain. I haven't had cooked knoll ever. I like them raw. I eat them raw. Cooking is quite a fascination to me.
Well, I'm just gonna yell out in common. Well, check this out. Just give me a minute, okay? Just 1 minute. 5 minutes. Just give me 5, maybe 10 minutes. So I'm gonna light the fire, you know, kind of like gesturing at the thing, and I'll start cooking the meat. Smells good, right?
And like as you're making the fire, you like hear that screeching.
I know. Hold on.
Feels so wrong to me. Anyway,
I
I'm
can
making, like,
wait
a massive
outside with the
fire, just like a
wyvern
little-
if the fire bothers it.
You can wait outside with the wyverns?
Yeah, if the wyvern
does anybody have
wants
any
to go
spices?
outside
No.
while it's cooking, and then we can douse
All
the
this
fire.
is all going on. I have a couple of these encounter rolls here to
idea.
see if random encounters pop up.
All right, so I've cooked up some meat,
So, well, you're making the fires, and
Yeah,
the fire's
okay.
burning. Yeah. Okay.
and it's some small campfire. I'm not trying to be like aggressive, but I've got a little haunch. I'm kind of holding over the fire.
Using whatever we can from our provisions here to flavor it.
And like,
Make it a
as,
little
you're,
less
as the fire
gamey.
burns and you cooking this thing, you can hear like a clamping of claws on bone. It's like possibly have landed somewhere, and it's like crushing the bones in its hands. You can hear like the cracking of bones.
Douse the torch. I'm dousing the torch.
Okay.
We've got
got
one
a
campfire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You douse the torch.
Your bow is still lit.
My bow is always lit. That is an excellent idea. Could you actually crunch up some more of those bones?
Is there like dust raining on us
Yeah.
from the bones?
All right, let's collect some of that and do kind of like a rub.
Some marrow. Get the marrow.
Why do I always end up cooking? Anyway,
Nice
a
bone
bone marrow.
rub. A bone rub.
yeah, bone rub.
Well, maybe it's salty from the sand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boom. As you hear this crunching of bone, and you hear the storms rage on, and you hear from outside, and you hear just like the neighing of these gnolls, like 2 gnolls, who are looking for shelter in this storm, and they are approaching this skull.
Is there any sort of distinguishing features that would indicate that they are part of our pack?
Yeah. There would be no other.
Okay.
yeah, but I mean, do we know them, or are they like random enclave gnolls?
Probably some random enclave gnolls. Like they might know of you very well. Yeah.
Herman, keep cooking that knoll. Maybe they'll get scared and go away.
I'm stepping away from them. I do not want to be associated with this.
I'm just
publicly.
cooking it for our friend. We're being held hostage, as far as I'm concerned.
You kind of hear them talking amongst themselves. Seems like they've gotten lost along their way, and they've just lost track, and this storm has messed them up, and they've just had to find some shelter in the dim light of this skull, and they're not quite sure what is going on, but like they've just found this place, and they're obviously scared. They rarely ever dwell amongst these bones for whatever reason, but they don't know about this nest at all, and they're drawing closer to this light.
Hilarious.
Packmates.
And you can hear like very subtly, like as if it was like through like an echo chamber. It's like, seems we have a larger course meal coming.
The wyvern just referred to the other gnolls as food.
Well, that's not really our problem. We just kind of want to get into this castle.
6 is more than 4. Packmates.
And they like perk up a little bit, and they realize there's other people here.
Brothers and sisters of Paravas. Enter. It is I, Elarius.
Hilarious. We've heard that name before. What are you doing traveling amongst the bones?
We were caught in the storm and sought shelter.
Oh, seems we are of the same pack.
Indeed. Join us by the fire.
And
Very near the fire.
and they're like coming in from the other eye socket, and they're navigating their way around the broken caravans and the tree branches and stuff that are creating such a giant mess of things to navigate through.
Okay.
And you just like, you guys here in like the specific enclave where you guys are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, any reaction from our...
Just a chop. And you almost like licking of lizard lips. What do you guys do?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting by this fire cooking.
Just fucking over, not giving a shit. Cooking a knoll
A
punch.
little fire here.
Come, sup with us.
You want some? I'm holding it up and waving it.
No, I don't even...
What do you do, Elarius? What do you do?
My fellow beast hearts. It would appear that we find ourselves in an interesting predicament, for we are not alone in here.
And they crest the corner, and you can see, they're covered in sand, and they have broken manacles and what's left of vestiges of clothes and stuff, and they just armed with little bones and sticks and stuff, just they're not even prepared for battle, but that's just keeping themselves somewhat equipped. If anything, they look like pickaxes that they were probably using.
All right, on these manacles, are there any sort of length of broken chain?
Yeah, 3 inches,
Nothing, okay. Got it. I'm
Still
gonna
just the
invite them
two
over
knolls,
towards
right?
the fire.
Say again?
Still just the 2 gnolls, though.
Just the 2 gnolls.
So no reaction when I'm offering up the thing.
Well, as these gnolls crest the corner and they sort of gauge the light, the situation, they look to Elarius and they're looking around and they see the cooked remains of 2 gnolls, and they're, what is this? What is the meaning of this?
Don't take it personally. They were dead when we got here. Crossing the desert, we have nothing to eat. There's a huge dragon that lives in here. We're just trying to give it something to eat.
And you can see that they're their ears perk up, and they're looking at each other and it's confused. You are eating fellow packmates.
No.
You are cooking and you are lost and you find your way here. Elarius, what is the meaning of this? What is this? Is the dragon? He speaks of the dragon in his heart.
I call out to the wyvern in Draconic and I say, we have brought you 2 gnolls as a offering if you can help us get into the castle.
What does he say? Who is that? What is that? Is that the tongue of the oppressor?
Could be.
can hear it, you can
not
hear
our
it, you can hear
oppressor, I suppose.
You can hear the bones cracking up ahead.
Clearly, directionally.
They're drawing closer, like they're walking closer on this part that's overhanging, and it's walking down the sinus of this thing to get closer to your little camp here.
All right.
Elarius, brother, packmate.
How is your strength? At that, Elarius is going to point an arrow up and loose it.
As you go to point this arrow and loose it, you hear in common, "Shall I dine?"
Yes.
To
Yes.
Oh, God.
And you're you draw, as you're going to aim this arrow, you hear it in common. What do you say? He hears 2 yeses.
So I'm gonna shoot the knoll.
Yeah, I'm
shoot.
I'm
the
actually
knoll.
switching my arrow and shooting the other knoll.
Wow, so
Yeah.
Wow, so you go up and then you hear 2 yeses. Herman shoots a knoll, and you redirect your arrow and shoot the other.
You don't understand.
And he rolls a 2. Do you want to keep that? What do you do? Now, what do you
The
do?
conflict in my heart.
You shoot the arrow, you roll an 8.
I remember a time during the feast.
I want to know what narrative element you want to play with this campfire.
Yeah, I remember a time during the feast with the gnolls. My newly minted friends, my newly acquired pack, I remember seeing in some of the youngsters' eyes almost an innocence. That feeling is flooding Elarius with regret. And in that moment, he suddenly steels himself, hardened by battle in the Legion, and composes himself.
Go for it. Rolls a nat 1. Rolls a nat 1. Something about that memory just hurts you in a different way.
I felt that I'm such a bad person.
But
Are you keeping this?
Yeah.
You're gonna keep that.
But
Yeah, just,
well,
well, okay, hold on, guys. We're just doing them a favor.
I still feel bad about it.
Yeah, but they're gonna die. You know, look,
There's nothing to feel bad about.
I'm not wasting my luck tokens.
Is that Herman or Errol?
Herman's like, oh well.
I can give luck tokens back.
Oh, you can, huh?
Yes. Supposing this stays exactly how it should.
All right, fine. So you're gonna roll that for me?
Yes, I'm gonna roll that for you.
Okay, all right.
Yep. So I go back to Gallivan's history back with the 214th, and having a very vivid memory of being chewed out by his superiors for not being participatory enough in his mission, and how he was a poor example of service and of leadership and of the love of Geed, and rolling that into the memories of, the knoll that was clobbered by his packmates, says, I will not let this happen again. I will, in fact, aid Herman.
Okay, so let's see what happens.
I get that notch. Whatever. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of he's like half-assedly, doing it, but then he. All right, so that's like a 19. So then he kind of is like, I should probably try and hit them. So doing 2 points of damage.
So you can see that this knoll, an arrow whizzes past this knoll as this moment of innocence is recalled by Elarius, but Herman's arrow hits the knoll, and he's just so tired and so weakened. He's just alive, but he's just weighed down by the weight of this injury. And he looks up at the one knoll he traveled with, and he looks at Elarius. What is going on? And he falls to one knee, and you hear from above, I'm ready to eat.
Can I shoot another arrow since we're not?
Sure, yeah.
I will.
Or I mean, I'm standing right next.
You're so you are obviously attacking them. So with that, this wyvern from the shadows, just the one that didn't get hit, just snatches him and just cuts him right in two, just right at the torso. A big mouth just envelops it, just picks him up and just leaves the legs behind. And the other one who has the arrow in his chest looks up and he's bleeding out, and he's looking at Elarius. Packmate, my brother, the bones have betrayed us. The bones. Let these bones leave their mark. And he's just falling to his knees, and he's trying to claw away, and then the wyvern is regaining
I will
his
stand
composure.
at the defense of the knoll. I have an idea.
Okay.
All right. Wyvern friend, I will give you the last one. The first one being for being gracious to us, but we require your assistance, and if you'll give it to us, I will give over this last one.
You hear just like gore and viscera just dropping down from the darkness above. He's listening.
Can we see?
You saw him for a second through as it picked up that one, and it's kind of like back in the in the darkness.
Okay, it's the darkness that is hiding him. He's not like invisible.
No,
Okay.
yeah, no, he's just like in the darkness
Okay.
of this place. It's the orb of the torchlight, and I guess this small little campfire.
We've seen your kind enter the Sunken Castle, and we're looking for entry into it, and we need your assistance.
You can see from behind, you can just, feel this presence of the knoll. He's gathering himself, and he's got his eyes snarling at Gallivan's back, and you offer me as a second course, and he lashes out at Gallivan. He rolls a nat 1. And just sidestep. You just manage to just turn. He just falls face first, mane down, hair splattered, blood pooling in the sand. It's just soaking everything up, and he's just lost the will to go on. But he's just breathing heavily, doing his best to fight back in the way that he knows how.
I was gonna maybe say, related to that one. Did you have something?
Step on his back, keep him from getting up.
I was gonna say, Elarius is gonna go over, kneel down next to him, and say, I am sorry, my brother. It is for the greater good. And then I would like to attempt to knock him out. Subdue him.
Sure, yeah.
I was gonna actually just propose that the one, he would fall on the arrow and it would just kind of like finish him off.
Sure, yeah, all of this
So,
falls,
just hit it kind of
and
dies.
Elarius does his best to, and you can just hear, I love when they fight back. It makes it taste so sweet. And you can just see like claws just start coming out of the darkness.
No. Elarius is positioning himself in between.
Mm-hmm.
After the deed is done, you may have what you have bartered for.
You offer this as a bargaining chip? Feed me now, and I will grant you what you wish.
How are we sure that you will? We've acted honorably. We've doused the fires. We've prepared food for you. We've given you even one more. Where's our protection?
Your protection is life. I am the one that owns this nest.
You're the one that owns this nest. I consider ourselves very capable.
Know this, Wyvern. If you betray us, we will set fire to your nest and put you down.
I will feast on more than just this meat. Cook him for me and we have a deal.
You got it.
Steward.
I do have the magic spear.
So Herman's, gonna drag him back over.
Go ahead, put vigilance on him. Go ahead.
Take the golden spear.
While this is happening, Elarius would like to just stick his head outside and make sure nobody sees what's going on.
Don't push it. Don't bring up things that don't need to be brought into the attention.
There's nothing to see, it's just dust.
All right.
So as you peer out of the skull, roll the successful encounter here, you can see within the sandstorms just a figure. A large, burly figure carrying a sack of rocks, just watching all of this.
Oh.
What is he doing here?
Oh gosh.
Distant enough away that you can barely connect, but you know you're being watched in all of this. And the spear goes in the knoll. Some of the caravan is dismantled and a spit is made. You start roasting this knoll over this fire.
Coming right up.
In the distance, that lone figure just stands, big burly legs, horn out in front of his face. Just picks up a rock.
China horn.
It's like a bot coming out of his face, out of his
Okay,
nose. Yeah.
great.
He's wearing a leather jacket.
Guar?
Yes,
I think that was you, right?
I was there.
We were there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were there the first time.
And the second time.
Oh, really? Both
Yes,
times?
yes.
Okay. One time on camera.
I go outside to stand next to Elarius and I say, "Who's that?"
He's a interesting sort. He tends to the rocks. I think we need to leave him be, but I am unsettled by what he has witnessed here.
Yeah, that rock he has, it's like a bone is sticking out of this rock. Like it's almost like a fossilized bone. And he picks it up and he makes eye contact with you. Puts it in his pack and just further into the sandstorm.
Are we sure he's not my conscience?
And almost in a montage sort of sense, you see the knoll slowly cooking, roasting, and in the glinting darkness, you can just see the eyes of the wyvern just watching you guys just slowly cook this as he's just finishing off the first knoll that he ate. And you can see his like lizard tongue just looking at you guys, waiting for the day which he gets to finish off this cooked knoll.
So I'm gonna look up and say, we do have a deal, right?
You promised me cooked knoll. I wait. I thought we'd have those old haunches, but instead, we have the whole thing.
Do we have a deal?
What is the deal?
The deal being that you fly us into the castle in exchange for this knoll.
We have a deal.
You fly us safely to the castle.
We have a deal. Safely. I will add that you reveal this nest to no one.
Fine.
We have
do
no
that.
intention of coming back.
The bones are but my friends, and I guess your friends as well. They whisper secrets. They show powers that have faded away. The Cyclopean language lives within these bones, and it brings me great joy seeing it sing a new song. And just his eyes glance as he crunches down on the bones on like his like perch.
Can we, sorry, go ahead.
Prior to our departure here, Elarius will reach into his pack and pull out Garuna's bone dice and ask the wyvern what tales these bones tell. Do these bones speak as well?
Where did you find these?
Let's just say I won them.
You may have won them, but they have chosen you.
Chosen me for what?
All I know is these bones have the element of Cyclopean language to them.
Thank you. I'll put them back.
So you finish cooking off this knoll, and the last bits of fur singe and crackle and burn. If you've ever smelled burnt hair before, you know that it's a smell you can never really get rid of.
Well, I mean, look, I didn't want this to happen, but I think, as Elarius said, it's for the greater good. We'll do a lot more good by getting that castle out of the hands of those bones than by, saving those two gnolls.
Be that as it may, I don't have to like it.
Doesn't bother me at all.
I think we'll get along, although I might have a bit more of a conscience than you. Gallivan, how do you feel?
It has to be done, but I'm with Elarius in this one. This was kind of painful.
So,
Speaking of painful, shall we climb on this thing's back?
So the night passes. You cooked this knoll. You spend some effort doing some resting, I'd imagine, to the best of your abilities. And there in the morning, the sands slowly fade. And you are met with your red-winged armored wyvern. It's got a wingspan, of 3 men wide and long tail wrapped around the bone, like a precipice up there, and just black spikes down his back. Enough for you to hold on to and ride. And he's got a armored, again, you can't tell if it's actually armor or if it's his scale itself is just a shimmering metallic metal on his breast and on his face.
is that armor you're wearing, or is that just your skin?
Do you want to test it?
Can I give it a little tap?
He's far away. You can only know if we engage in combat.
Let's engage in flight.
Shall we? Who's carrying the knoll?
Elarius will carry the knoll. It's the least he can do.
Okay. You got the slots for it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many slots does a dead knoll take?
Let's say 4.
That's fine, I got the slots.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Had to be done.
Parentheses cooked.
Be specific here.
All right, so let's do it.
Okay.
I make sure to take my spear as we're leaving.
So go ahead and describe this morning scene and you guys mount this. I'm gonna get some cool stuff for you.
Well,
I'm gonna grab a drink. Does anyone want anything?
Yeah.
I'm okay. I think the morning is probably a little cooler
How do I know?
Hopefully.
now that the storm has passed.
Yeah, I think that, as we're making our preparations here, Elarius is securing the cooked knoll to the best of his ability. And there's a single silvery tube forming and starting to come down.
Move that stuff out of the way.
A
As he
silvery
makes his
tear.
preparations, and he thinks of this knoll in a way that is reminiscent of the soldiers that have fallen on this journey. Not just people he's met, but also of Revolte Sargentum. He thinks of the tales of Senex and his friend Somnolentus, and realizes that this knoll, who he had never met before, that he feels the same sort of kinship. And that's why he's having such a hard time with this course of events.
Elarius, would it relieve a burden on you if I were the one to bear the knoll?
I feel that it is my duty to do so, but rest assured, friend, I appreciate the gesture. And I understand why Geed has chosen you.
Well, at least allow me to bless him.
And Elarius sort of offers the body up.
To our bountiful goddess, we commit this knoll into your hands. As he has served us, we pray that he will serve you in his courts forever. May your love be on him and be on those he loved as well. Ge be with him.
I'd go with Paravas at your side.
So while this is going on, I'm gonna go and talk to the wyvern's big head. Look, have you been in the castle before?
You guys are mounting and flying?
Well, it's
As leading up
it's
to it?
like,
As we're getting-
maybe
yeah.
on the ground waiting for us. So I'm going over to just talk to it before we get on.
I have.
What can we expect inside that door?
Oh, it is but a waylay on my journey. I am part of a larger convoy. We come and go into the castle. We mainly stay within the canyons in the northeast. We come and we seek goods. We seek a metal that we deliver.
And so inside, there's nothing notable in there.
Oh, there are nothing but workers. Delicious workers. And the ones that no longer can make the cut are either given to us or turned into fellow enslavers.
Indeed. How interesting.
What are they working towards?
They mine. The castle has a very, very deep core. Goes down for a very long time.
Why go to all this effort to mine the castle?
Oh, it's not up to me. The Gruth Neo is a very valuable metal.
You have a name?
My name is Orca.
How would I write that in common?
Orcerer.
Well met, Scaly One.
Shall we ride?
All right, you three, so this is it. I know that this shook you two up. You not so much. But we have to get back in the mindset of fighting and staying alive. This is it. And let's not let their sacrifice be in vain.
Maneuver will not waver.
Excellent. Gallivan, you feel okay?
We did what we have to. Let's proceed.
Great. Let's go.
And you mount this red-scaled, black-horned, armored, breasted sort of wyvern and take to the skies. And you are flying through the air, and you can see far into the distance. You can see in either direction. Towards the south, definitely there's some shimmering salt flats. To the west, or to the east, you can see the canyons that seem to howl past the mountains. As you fly further into the sky, you can see south, east, in the opposite direction of your flying, something shimmering like a city made out of glass, just in the sands, completely smack dab in the middle.
This is southeast of where we are.
Mm-hmm.
How far?
Another day or so.
Might this look like where the steel lions were said to be, or somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
Oh, okay. All right, great. So this is what was it? A city of glass?
Mm-hmm.
And we saw the salt flats. So Herman's taking notes of all this stuff. And what else did you say, the first thing? The canyons?
Yeah, into the northwest and northeast. I always get that mixed up.
Northeast, so towards the fighting arena, perhaps.
Yep.
Blood
Mm-hmm,
Rock.
mm-hmm. Yep, those are all canyons. Yeah.
All up through
Mhm.
there, okay. So, couple days walk worth of canyons, you might say.
It's all deserts, and then it hits the base of the mountains, and then canyons beyond that.
Oh, canyon beyond the mountains?
Yep.
Oh. Got good eyes, I guess.
Yeah. No, this vantage point is huge right now.
Okay,
And
so the canyons are... Is that where the Razgodai are?
Yep.
Oh, so I already have that marked.
Mhm.
Oh, I see, okay.
And flying through the airs, you can see approaching the sunken castle. Yeah, the small little specks of gnolls throughout their enclaves, and you know they look and they see this approaching wyvern as anticipated, as scheduled, or as seen before. These wyverns make their place, and it lands on the side door here. You guys can go out. I can't see. Go ahead and put that there. Make it all nice and snazzy. And as it lands, you're on the edge of that perch, and luckily you're holding on to each of the spines. And as it lands, you can see the magic portal just like slide up, it melt away, providing passage into the castle. And before he even takes one step further, Orca is just like, where is your part of the bargain?
In the castle. In the castle.
He starts stepping in.
Okay. So now we're inside.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Elarius will shuffle the knoll in front of Orcar.
Roll the knoll.
Roll the knoll.
Down his body.
Immediately you hear like echoey chambers and just like loud ringing throughout the hollowed castle itself. And there's different areas and different passageways and different sort of aspects to each of these castles, but you can navigate somewhat freely coming into this passageway. That was our torch timer. So immediately you're just met with just blackness as the whole castle is completely dark.
Are we in the top floor? Do we see a glow from the brick?
Yeah, you can see the power brick is there, and it's completely dim. It's like off practically. And you can see that it's like even worse, destroyed underneath here.
Chipped away, like intentionally? Or?
No, it's just crumbled, it's falling
Okay.
apart, is in
Fading
disrepair. Yeah. And you can see that there's the control chambers. All right, boys.
Anyone need light or have light? I got a torch if anyone wants to light it up. I don't have
I used
flint.
mine, so.
Okay, I'll give it to you so you can light it up if you want, or anybody. I don't have the flint, so.
Arius, give me your bow. I'll make it glow again.
I don't have the funds either.
Or
Oh!
What'd you roll?
Nat one.
So that'll be a wizard mishap
Okay.
if you choose to accept it.
Do you have your token?
I do still have my token.
Okay.
Is it worth spending on this?
Do it and remind me because I keep forgetting. I'm gonna try to bless. Who used their token? I use my token. You use. All right. So
I
we'll
used
go.
the
We have
heores
two.
earlier. I have not used my
Yeah,
lucky
we have two
token.
tokens.
Yep. So once you do that, remind me. Let's go ahead and get some blessings up in here.
All right, well, I'll use it then. Togark thinks back to his childhood when the gnolls raided his camp and many of his friends fell in battle. And it fills him with rage, and he thinks hard about all of his training as a wizard to take vengeance on these gnolls and how it's strange now to be helping them. But he overcomes this thirst for vengeance, and it focuses his mind. And still, he cannot cast the spell.
That's okay. It's not gone forever.
Yeah.
No.
So it's not the wizard mishap.
No, it's
No.
not. I got a
Right.
6 this time.
So, I have a torch. I don't have flint. So, who has the flint and steel?
I have flint and steel.
All right, so I'll give you the torch. You can light it up.
Yep. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and get blessings going. I'm gonna start with Togark.
I'm gonna give you the red robe.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that'll pass. So you get one luck token back.
Thank you.
Then I'll go to Elarius.
Thank you for the blessing.
Very welcome. Oh, that was a really nice blessing. That was a 20 on the die.
That's a critical. That
How
means you
did
can double one numerical value on
Oh.
the spell.
Beautiful. Okay.
So it could be 2 targets or
Two targets. Give it to me because I need mine too. So
Okay.
So everybody gets their luck tokens back?
everyone gets it back. Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, where'd my? Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Say goodbye to that Horus.
Well, until I fail this anyway.
Yeah, right.
So what happens? What happens in this moment? Critical success bless as you are entering this castle, the Sunken castle. What's this moment?
So I lay my hands on Togark and Elarius, and I continue with the prayer. To Geed be the glory. We commit our lives in service to you, in service to the creatures that you love, in service to those that love others, in service to those who serve others. May our lives be of service to you and be of service to others. And instead of simply feeling it, a cool blue aura-ish light starts to, start at the hearts of Togark and Elarius and starts to emanate out through their limbs, and mine as well.
As you enter this, you feel that surge of Geed power, and it's like in stark contrast to everything. You're the god of merriment and well-being, and you're met with just, you hear the sounds of torture, the sounds of forced work, and just you hear the clicking and clattering of these skeletons. Clearly they're like, this whole castle is like run and under guard of these undead zealous vision voyagers, and the orker brings you in through, and behind you the portal closes. And who lit the torch?
I guess I'm holding the torch.
Yeah.
So-
You got light. Is it the light spell? Yeah.
No, it's a torch.
Oh, it's actually.
I failed the light spell.
Right, that's what it was. Okay, so you guys get a little bit of torch light, and you're within the sunken castle. And you get that feeling, Elarius, like, I'm supposed to be here. There's something about these walls that speak to you, that draw upon your warrior spirit, but yet it is removed from it all. And each of these places look like of extreme military architecture. The way the hallways are designed, the way everything is sort of like utilitarian, but like with purpose but with pride. But it's almost like lacquered and layered with disarray, and just it's in disrepair, and it's forgotten as these creatures roam throughout the castle.
Okay.
Hilarious. Any impressions?
This place calls to me, but it seems to be tainted or fouled, or certainly not of its former glory. I think we need to look for the vault that was mentioned
Agreed.
and see what we might be able to glean from its contents.
Let's move quickly. We might not have much time.
All right. And what do we see? What?
So you guys, we're just gonna roam through this sort of castle, sort of like loosely, abstractly, as you guys are trying your best to, find this vault. Since you guys have come in through this, you will get a bonus to this location discovery roll, because this is a very hard entrance to come in on, and you have sort of the magical bonus of, and like almost like a purifying aspect to it coming through here. And you can feel that coming through the portal, that this magical barrier is for VIP entries only. So gaining access to that has been a significant boon to your explorations further within the castle. But you can see like there's like a main chamber that like just delves down. If you like can look in through windows, and there's just a main central opening to this chamber that seems to go down forever. And you can see little specks of light and stuff for the gnolls, but clearly there's gnolls that are working, mining away further down into the chamber. And it goes down and down and down.
But we want to go up. Right?
We do want
Well,
to
it's
go
on this level. The vault is on this
it's
level.
right
So,
here.
yeah, it's
Oh,
on the
right.
first, this top level.
Point of inquiry. What's Orker doing right now?
He's gonna continue on his duties. And he's like, I did my deed.
He's just walking around.
Yeah, he goes to he's like ready to leave you guys. Unless you guys want to do anything with him. You don't know what he's doing, but he's clearly doing something else. Or he's about to.
Orcor. Psst, I just have a question. Do you know about a vault on this floor?
I know nothing about a vault.
Well, we've heard that there are some very powerful elements in there. Now, I know you get your reward for whatever it is they do here, but I think you could get some really interesting stuff if you helped us break into this vault.
I have no interest. This is not for me. I am tasked with bringing this metal back to my allies, my leaders in the canyons.
Fine.
That's unusual for a wyvern to
Yeah.
turn down the prospect of treasure.
And
Can I use detect magic on the wyvern?
Sure. What are you hoping to find?
Maybe he's under some sort of spell or charm. That's a pass, 13.
Yeah, it seems like, you know, the metal helm and stuff and the armor that he's like wearing has been activated as he has entered this castle.
So maybe is it receiving some kind of transmission? Magical transmission?
Yeah. Something along those lines.
Oh.
And or like controlling his thoughts, oppressing his own desires and tasking him with his duties at hand.
Whisper of Faith. Pass. To the wyvern. Wyvern follower, you are being ordered to tell these people where the vault is.
He's immediately rejected.
Worth a shot.
Do you have any other things, other spells that can diffuse the magic or just detect it?
Just detect it.
Right, well, that's not going to work.
Okay.
But there seems to be some kind of magical transmitter in here that perhaps if we broke the connection of, we would free their minds, and they would be a powerful ally. Do you have any sense where that's coming from?
Do I have any sense where that's coming from?
No.
No.
Then, right. Let's check out this vault. What do we see about the vault?
Well, you haven't found the vault yet.
Well, we're looking for the
Yeah,
vault.
you're looking for
Let's
the
find
vault.
it.
So,
We gotta move.
what are you gonna do with Orker? Let him go on his way, or?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Not
Fight
much
him? No.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's wander around. Do we want to do 2 and 2?
Split the party?
Loop around or what?
I think we should stick together.
All right,
Yeah, I
let's
agree.
move then.
Yeah. Elarius will take point stealthily.
Okay, yep. You guys are going together. So we're gonna roll a d6. These are the rooms that you're gonna come across. You're gonna get a +2 bonus because you have you came in through this chamber here. Whoever wants to roll that, you roll that. You're taking point. Elarius, go for it. Yeah.
Go for it.
It's a D6.
Yep.
Don't mess this up.
3.
So +2, 5. Okay. So as you are navigating in, you come across an observatory. It's a room that's filled with observing equipment. It's, you know, has measuring instruments. Seems like some of them are tracking the stars and stuff. But this whole place is in complete disarray. Like it hasn't been used in ages and generations.
This looks interesting. I'm gonna rifle around looking for any kind of, I don't know, potentially powerful equipment or cool stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So you come across, you know, the telescope as you're looking at the volcano of creation.
Oh,
Interesting.
Cool.
so
Yeah, all the way, across the whole desert.
so it's
south,
puffing the rings.
the infinity ring.
Okay, so all the way south, directly south, right? Dead south? No, southeast.
Right.
Southeast. Okay. Can I swing it around anywhere?
You'd have to manipulate the controls, and it might, if you would need a hand. It's like a multiple,
Alright.
yeah, the wheels and
Might
cranks and
attract
stuff.
attention.
Yeah, fine. So, okay, interesting. Does that tell us anything that I can glean of the structure, like any paths or any whatever cool stuff about the volcano?
It seems like there's a fortress at the base of it.
Oh, walls or just one thing? Like it's not ringing the volcano?
No, yeah, it's
just
at the
one.
base of the foot of the mountain.
All right, so cool. Fortress.
I look through the telescope and try to see if I recognize anything that I see.
Yes, you greatly recognize something. This is your chance to further your vision, your dream. What do you see?
I see the volcano and the fortress where I first took my first steps towards gaining magical powers and learning to use Arcana to my advantage.
Interesting.
So this goblin has been around. Okay.
At least in his dreams.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so seeing the actual physical site, you're just like, what? Like that? that it was a premonition, a dream, and to see it actually physically there, you're like called to it. You're like, I need to go there. There's clearly a powerful piece of my magics that I will gain if I go there.
Sorry, guys, I gotta go.
Shoot out of the cannon of a...
Anyone else want to take a peek?
I'm gonna take a peek.
Hold on. Okay.
Let's see. So, is there anything that I noticed towards the base of the volcano?
Yeah, no, other than just
Okay, good.
the fortress, yeah, it just...
Fair enough.
So Herman, after looking around, I think I've seen enough. I'm gonna proceed out to the next room.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
press
yeah.
on.
All right, roll that d6 again.
Same.
Okay, so as you are navigating away from this observatory, you come across a strange room that is filled with these crystal growths. They're like coming out of the like mortar of the stone, coming up from the stone tile. It's haphazard, but almost purposeful. Like this was a botany room, but growing these glowing crystals.
Do they cast enough light to do they illuminate like a torch?
No,
No,
they
softer.
glow, but
Yeah.
not enough. Like a candle almost, if you will. Yeah. And they're like there's like skeletons around, like forcing gnolls to like tend to them as if they were gardeners.
Okay, so we got enemies in the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's like people moving around here, skeletons moving around here. It's like you guys are like creepy crawling like through this whole thing.
Right.
But you can see a band walks by, and some gnolls are into shackles in tow, and they're getting moved around, and you guys happen to be like moving out and about each of these rooms, like through a hallway, through a corridor.
We gotta keep moving. We gotta find the vault.
Let's keep going.
All right.
Let's go.
Oh. Okay, go for it.
All right. 4 total.
Okay, in this room, you can see that the metal that has been mined is being refined into these implements of agony. And you can see that there are gnolls here that are no longer serving their purpose, and they're being sacrificed.
By whom? By the.
By the skeletons, there's zombies and just undead running this whole room, and there's like a gnoll can't lift an axe anymore, and so they just slowly just put him out of his misery and add him to a pile. And before you know it, that something rises up out of the pile, and you can see there's just one large figure. He seems to have like a military hat, and he's got like pauldrons on, and he's just like commanding the other soldiers around. We must raise more of our soldiers. We will rain down upon the encampment at the highest point when Nariah is at its zenith. There we will enter their hidden burrow, and we will take all of them. We need to finish our duty as soon as possible.
Well, this seems like a good opportunity for sabotage. Can we find any kind of power that's powering the room? Whether it's mechanical or magical or anything, generating these devices, refining stuff.
Is the soldier with the pauldrons, is he an undead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually.
He's like an undead boss.
Oh, we have found.
Oh. Wow.
Damn.
Okay.
Okay, so he's not messing around.
The other person's like, Captain, you got it. Captain. His name's Captain.
Captain's. Okay. All right, so yeah. Again, machinery, power of any kind.
Yeah, it's more of like It's more of the end results of
Okay,
this
I
sort of
see.
stuff. It's the sacrifice room in which all these implements are being utilized, and there's not a lot right now, but like you see this one old gnoll who's put out of his misery and then taken to the other room, and yeah, Captain has like a rod that he goes back into that other room, and you can hear some horrid twisted magic, and he comes out with like another undead soldier that all of a sudden goes and takes another one of these fallen gnolls and puts him down.
Yeah. So we gotta stop this for sure. Is there a way to seal off the room?
Yeah, it's got big doors that you happen to peer around. Big giant double wooden doors.
Do the doors have like bolts or any sort of locking mechanism on them, or are they just doors?
Yes, but you're not familiar how to use it. You have to close. Like it's got to stir up some stuff. If you're interested in pursuing that, you could pursue that definitely.
Well, this is a good opportunity for sabotage. It would stop their operation from creating new soldiers.
It might keep us alive for slightly longer if we're discovered.
Yeah, I think we investigate the room where the soldiers seem to be being raised.
It's a part of this whole room. You can imagine it's like a double parlor type room where there's one room where these people are brought in, and they're brought into like an innermost chamber in which this
Just to go through
happening.
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
The other option
you guys
is we
are, like,
can
looking into
map
the
out
door.
the rest of the castle before we make an escape.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
probably
Maybe we'll
lay
find
of land.
the vault and something in there will help us.
All right.
A little bit more recon.
So,
Boy, great.
okay.
Okay, so as you guys are deliberating and you see all this sort of stuff, yeah, it seems like these creatures are like, they notice something. There's a presence of something outside the door here. And Captain is like, check this out. Check this out.
So can we run to the next room?
Yeah, you'll be chased.
Oh, now we're here.
They're gonna go send an investigating party, but yeah.
So, all right, we either check the next room or get out of here. Time is
How many
ticking.
undead are there?
Besides the captain,
Yeah.
Captain would be tough to fight, I think. But
Yeah, I don't think
Probably.
now is the time.
yeah.
4.
Well, mechanical question: does cure wounds reverse against undead?
Sure.
Okay. Good stuff.
If you want to jeopardize your spell. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
Yeah, I'd rather explore if possible and like get out of here with knowledge, because it seems like it's going to be pretty difficult to actually get anything done tonight of progress.
Alright.
But what do you guys think? Do you want to try and fight these guys and kill them?
I think we look to explore with the understanding that we may not have a choice.
I think that if we go straight to the fight, we will end up like those gnolls, unfortunately.
Okay. We also
Let's slam the doors shut, and I can try to use my crowbar to keep them closed.
Okay, yeah,
okay.
good move.
That sounds good. And we also know that there is that crack in the ceiling that we can kind of crawl through to get outside and maybe just make an escape.
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, let's attempt to bar the door and explore.
All right.
Okay, so you take these double doors and slam them shut. Okay, great. Roll initiative. Let's see how it goes. Who goes where? It's gonna be the highest goes first.
Is it dex bonus?
Yep, just dex bonus.
All right. Nice. 22.
Not bad.
This is not my night.
22.
Yeah.
Nothing higher.
I got 17.
22 is the highest, and since it's even, we're going clockwise.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the doors are now closed.
They're closing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's working on. You guys are all working on closing
We're
this.
working on it.
Yeah,
I
let's all
think.
do it.
Yep.
So
So
when you can
each.
see that 4 of these skeletons are lumbering forward, you can see Captain Skinkrick is doing his best, commanding and summoning up these other skeleton aids.
So do we see? So are we getting them closed now?
They're closing. It'll close all the. Like you said you're gonna bar the door
Yeah, I have like a crowbar so I can stick
Yeah.
it between.
at the end of a round, and
handles.
they will be closed.
All right. So in that case, I'm gonna shoot one of the soldiers.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna shoot. Should I shoot the captain?
Sure.
Just go straight for the money.
Yep.
or try and who's first? The little lackeys are kind of rushing at us.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
All right. All right. I'll shoot the close first.
Yeah.
Shoot the closest guy. Oh my God! A 2. All right, so I have a lot of hope for the future. Really wants to, take care of this castle.
I really want to take it.
He's got a lot of hope.
Bring in
that
the
we
meat.
can, we can really. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a long day. So he just really wants to find this vault, fix the fix the power brick, and see it come rising out of the ground again. Because could be a lot of good for a lot of people, especially and including himself. So with
Let's
that
see.
hope, he's going to roll a 22 and a 4 damage on that skeleton.
4 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so and you can see that they're stumbling forward.
Oh, was it aware of me, by the way?
I was
As
not.
I-
I'll give you that. It was not.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, in that case, excellent. So that's another 11 damage.
11 damage.
Yep.
Crumbles to dust as you fire through.
So Hearn just pops around the corner and whack, shoots him, and I guess that critical bone spot that just
Makes him crumble.
makes him crumble.
Hey, Elarius, how would you feel about a little bit of extra strength?
I would love some extra strength.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cast Taurine Tact on Elarius. Oh, no, hang on a second. Let's see. Thinks back to his life in the old country about,
Where's that Horus? Let me push that on you.
thinks about his life in the old country and how he really is longing for his love that he left back there on the mission field, and how he gave up his personal affairs and his romances in order to be a part of this union, and in doing so will sacrifice his luck token to help Elarius. So let's go. That is another 6. That still fails. Okay, never mind then.
Not a strong enough love, apparently.
No, probably not. Togark.
So the spell fizzles.
So, I do want to try to bar this door. So can I also take a turn and then do that?
Yeah,
or-
once it's closed, you can
Okay.
bar it at your next turn.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're kind of all closing but doing an action.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Big ass doors. Yeah.
Right.
In that case, I'm going to shoot a magic missile at the next closest skeleton.
Okay. Yep.
Hey!
At 20. Nice.
roll again.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So you can double any numerical value.
Your spell.
In the spell, whatever numeric it says, you fire 1 missile, you can fire 2 missiles.
Okay.
It says it does 1d4 damage. You can do 2d4 or 1d8. Obviously, 2d4 would be better
Yeah,
mathematically. Yeah. But like any numerical value that you can look at, I'll let you double.
Sweet. All right.
So
I'll
if you
do
shot 2 missiles, it would split the damage, or how would that work?
They would each do that damage.
I see. So
Yeah,
you'd shoot
yeah.
2.
That do 4 damage. Yeah, you could do 2. You could do
So
2
you could
missiles
do 2
on 2
guys.
separate
Twice.
targets.
Okay.
You
Well,
can
I'm going
shoot.
to keep it to 1 target. Do I have to call if I'm doubling the roll or rolling twice?
You're gonna roll. Yes.
I'll roll twice, 1 for each missile.
So wait, what?
I'd say you have to call it in advance of doing that, yes?
Are you rolling 2 missiles? You're
Yeah,
gonna
I
do
mean-
2 missiles. It's gonna do whatever damage you roll for.
Yeah,
both
I'll
of them.
do 2 missiles on the same target.
Yeah, then you roll twice for them. Yeah.
2.
I guess it's all the same in the end.
2.
You can do 1 missile that deals 2d4.
So that's 4
Yeah,
damage.
yeah. So 4 damage? Okay. All right. And they're shambling forward. Obviously, they're getting their bearings of what's going on, but it's not like they've we know who you are. It's like, this is just happening. And they're like, what the hell is this? Elarius.
Yep, so as Elarius is pushing with his back on the one side of the door, he pops out, takes a shot.
Same one?
Different one.
Okay.
What is going on tonight?
You guys are shooken up
I
in this
tell you
castle.
what, though, I remember a similar situation from my days in the Legion. I had to steady my nerves, steady my shot, and I'm rerolling.
Must be this castle. Let's see. Let's
Must be this castle. That's actually going to be a 16 total.
roll for damage. So you calm, you still your nerves. Is it excitement? Is it nervousness?
That is going to be 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage.
6 actually.
6 points of damage. Skeletons are moving along, and they double near to the door. One makes it out,
Oh no.
Oh no.
and we'll just roll d4 to see which one he hits, and he goes after Elarius, and he does his best to roll us 10 damage, which doesn't hit you at all, or 10, roll AC for 10. So you manage to just duck out of the way as you see this rusty short sword almost cut your ear off. And you can see that this Captain Skikrick is, what? Are you making a fool of my men? There are plenty more where that came from. And he starts to just lumber back into that back sacrifice room.
We can see that. I'm gonna just stab this guy.
Okay.
He's right in front of us.
So
the doors.
the doors are closed now, except for this one that has popped out.
Right, so
Yep.
10. Does that hit?
No, bounces up against his chainmail, doesn't hit.
See ya. So I'm gonna and then like just head for. Can we see this crack in the ceiling?
You'll have to go look for it,
Okay,
but you can
we
follow.
haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
right.
so I'm going in the other direction. I'm looking for the crack in the ceiling,
All right.
and I'm hustling.
Okay.
Bail out, coward.
Let's turn this around.
Okay, so I'm going to go and I'm going to whack our skeleton friend here.
So
Yes,
it's
draggy. Yeah,
kinda big,
we're trying.
That's okay.
just to give a different perspective for you guys.
Gonna whack him with vigilant. Okay, that'll be 16.
16. Despite the null blood, you managed to hold on to your spear and land a true hit.
All right, perfect. And I believe that's what D6 plus 1. Okay. I'm gonna re-roll that since I can be seen. Okay, 2.
2 damage. Okay. It's still standing strong. All right.
Well,
Togark.
I have one move, so I'm
yeah,
gonna do it again.
I guess move.
Magic missile.
Are you gonna bar it, or are you gonna do this spell?
Oh. I'm gonna have to bar the door.
You can see, you know, they're like up against the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna bar the door with the crowbar.
Okay, so you're doing your best to, you know, slide your crowbar in there and making your way. Okay, yep.
Do you wanna
Hilarious.
Run away.
Can I
or-
move after
Yep,
that?
yep, yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna join
So you
Herman then.
secure the door and you start slipping back.
You move me.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so Elarius is going to head off in the direction of the party, and as he makes his near move, we'll turn around and shoot an arrow at the skeleton that's pursuing.
Okay.
That is actually going to be a 12.
The arrow deflects off its chainmail, barely.
Damn.
And as you guys start slipping away, you can see that the skeleton turns on the door and starts to work the crowbar out of the door that you jammed it into.
Okay.
Ooh, crap.
Has it gotten it out by now, or next turn it would?
It's out.
Okay. Whatever. All right, so it's out.
You know, it's like you gotta try to kill him. Go ahead, try killing him, and if you kill him, yeah, it's like halfway out type of thing. It's like in the progress of being taken out.
Should we just get the hell out of
Bolt.
here?
Yeah, I'd say we bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could ranged attack, but I don't know what exactly. You can
Yeah.
try if you all try to peg him to take him out.
I think we just haul ass out of here. Does that? No.
Does everyone have range?
Yeah. I think we can kill him.
All right.
Yep.
Shooting an arrow. Another 10. See ya. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the
yep.
arrow just misses.
Okay, fantastic. I take my crossbow out and try to nail him. 12.
Off
Okay,
the armor.
fair
This
enough.
thing is under fire and holding his ground.
Yeah.
Fink, fink.
We're just kind of
Okay.
like missing here.
Don't worry, I got this.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Advantage on magic missile. Yeah.
Oh.
I got this, guys. Oh, shit.
Oh, we got luck tokens.
No more luck tokens. You know,
I'll move farther,
there's an
I
Horus
guess.
around. I don't know where it is.
Norris, we have a priest.
This isn't
Same.
hilarious.
It's up to you, Elarius.
Pinkie Pie. Let's go.
Nice.
23,
Okay, hit.
Nice.
and that's going to be 6 damage.
11 HP. The skeleton explodes in a cloud of dust. Its hand holding on to the crowbar, pulling the last. It's like a broken skeleton hand on the crowbar. Just slowly pulling it out.
On that note, I'm going to go look for crack with Herman.
So you guys are on the crack journey. So yes, it's kind of barred. I was gonna give them kind of disadvantage to try to think. They are obviously held up. It's not an impossible thing. They could break the doors down. As you guys are like navigating through the last of this chamber, go ahead, roll that last scout check. We'll see what you get. You're gonna find the crack.
Should have shot the
That's a
captain.
3 total.
Okay, so you manage to find the crack. You also happen to forego the barracks, in which you can see all of these skeletons and stuff like lined up.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so you find the crack that's near the decaying brick, and you also happen to see, secluded on the throes of this passage on your way out,
Ooh.
a strange vault door.
Oh.
So this is the vault door.
Yep.
Interesting. All right.
But that is for, and you can also see it happens to be near the little crack here.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
So with that, I presume you guys slip up and out of this crack, right?
Yeah. Are we gonna kind of quickly travel back to the thing, or do we want to play it out of actually getting ourselves through?
I mean,
I think
I
our
think you
goal
guys,
is to travel back to the.
yeah, I think you guys are at a point where you have the advantage. You made this surprise attack. You've done some reconnaissance. Now you're just you're fleeing the scene as best as possible. Finding this crack, you have a way out. You with your climbing boots and you know having the advantage of getting out. You manage to perceive this like vault wall. It's looks like ornamental almost. Like easily could have just been ignored this whole time, but since you have an eye for it, you're like, holy crap, this is like a weird gem and lock mechanism. So you have reconnaissance on it, but I feel the pressure now is so much so that you don't have the time to go explore this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So gaining egress out, yeah. Do you make your way to the top of the chamber, in which there are patrols sort of milling about, but you guys slip out the side, which has sort of a way out and down. But you recognize that there's also a control mechanism up here as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So control, perhaps for the vault, or
Possibly.
for something else.
Don't know.
Perhaps? We don't know.
You don't know.
All right. Cool.
So you have explored the Sunken Castle. You can hear the calls of the gnolls that are trapped within that place. You've learned from Captain Skrekkick, almost like sounding like a skeleton himself, that they seem to be planning an assault. When Naraya is at its highest point, you know specifically that is when the gnolls gather in their pit, their fighting arena. And it seems like Captain Skrekkick and his other risen soldiers are planning a full-on raid to gather all the gnolls and bring them in for some serious work that they're trying to accomplish. And we opened up our fable tonight with the moons at their lowest point, so you have, some time, a month-ish, 2 months or whatever, before the Naraya, the northern moon, reaches its zenith. What other treasures have you guys found out about tonight as you managed to slip your way away from the Sunken Castle?
Well, I find it very peculiar that the Wyvern was being controlled in some form or fashion by some entity. We don't know if it's here or elsewhere. But if something else is controlling them, it stands to reason that they could either be freed, or that perhaps we might be able to use that control to Arventa's benefit somehow.
And I guess in that way, we probably have confirmed that's armor. That's probably not natural to the Wyvern, no.
Yeah, whatever's controlling them must be very powerful.
Well, we learned quite a bit about the castle. We basically uncovered most of the top floor. Seems to be a pretty important area as far as the actual defenses. So if we were going to stage some kind of attack on them, we would probably want to flood in from the top and hit them while they're sleeping, if they sleep.
Possible. We could also use that if there was some other sort of distraction as well, perhaps to slip in with less of an eye on our activities.
Yeah.
If we distracted everyone, got them off the top floor.
Yeah.
If we could prevent any more gnolls from being abducted and brought into the castle, that would stop them from gaining any more troops.
Yeah, we do have to stop the amount of troops being made.
Were we seeing like rows of skeletons here? Like just...
Yeah. There's quite an army here. Yeah, we're not talking. It's like there's 10 skeletons for every gnoll.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they're just on different levels and layers. Some are in the barracks, some are in the observatory, or some are in the sacrifice room and stuff. There could be quite an army here. And who knows levels down what we're dealing with.
Right.
What I've described is not just the first floor. You could look down, you saw like a chasm in the middle that goes down. There's clearly more to this castle than just this top layer.
Well, do we know anyone with any nukes?
In all this, I would say on your way out, you're reminded of Perivas is trapped within this castle.
Who is Perivas?
Perivas is a figure of legend for the Vulpes Argentum and the broader legions, but also there is a connection somewhere along our respective life paths between revering Perivas and the Vulpes Argentum, and there being a commonality with the Gnoll Pack, also knowing of this legend and revering this figure.
Interesting.
Case for treasure? Valuables, gold, information?
I was gonna say, so I'm, wait, does it have to be for treasure or?
Valuables, that is the quote here. Like, what is valuable to the group, to Gallivan?
So Gallivan would make a case for Elarius on account of his sense of sacrifice and of service because of what he had to go through on account of those gnolls. Presumably very traumatic, and and still carried through with all of it from tip to spearhead. Yeah.
I will award everyone 5 experience points. I will give an additional +1 for the tough decision that was made. But I don't know. I don't want to reward it to Elarius because of his great sacrifice, but it's just a memento of honor to the gnolls that were made. But I think a good 5 is a good number of experience points worthy of treasure, valuables obtained. Be it information, be it the alliance, the bargain that was made with Orker, and the diving into the exploration of this sunken castle. So you guys are certainly underway of a large adventure, and the stakes seem to keep getting heightened every time, especially as the relationships slowly unfold and alliances and betrayals and hard decisions are made. But that's a fable for another table. Thanks for watching this chapter of our ongoing fable. Drop a like if you enjoyed the episode, and let us know in the comments which stories interest you most. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and to stay connected, there are links to our Discord and socials in the description. We want to invite you to the next episode of Tables and Fables, and we'll be sure to save you a seat.